animals are there to bioaccumulate. And yes, they can bioaccumulate things like amino acids and other peptides and vitamins and minerals, microbes and viruses, but they can also accumulate not so good microbes and bacteriophages, viruses, heavy metals, PCBs, PFAS, dioxins, tumors, endotoxins, right? The list can go on even with that. And especially as we get into factory farmed animals, which essentially is what a majority of Americans and those in first world countries are consuming, the health of the animal needs to be really touched on and going, is the animal you're eating healthy? Because if the animal you're eating is being abused, has tumors, their microbiome is completely in dysbiosis, they're lacking that structure, function, population, are you going to be healthy from eating that animal? Probably
Mhm.
not. This also speaks to environmental factors in that animal. There's a reason why 95% of our dioxin exposure, which is a heavy carcinogen, comes from animals. We're getting dioxin exposure from animals because we're usually housing animals in industrialized areas, in areas that are a little bit more urban, especially nowadays, in areas where there's runoff, in parts of the, let's say, city or county where no one really wants that land, either because of industry, we're outsourcing to other countries like India and South America and China, where there's less regulation, there's a lot of corruption, the list can go on and on. So we need to be aware of this. We also need to understand, I'd love to parallel this, when you kill a broccoli and you kill a chicken, leave them in your room, which one would you want in your room, right? There's going to be a very different decomposition process in those two living things, right? So the broccoli, yes, it'll decompose, but I guarantee it's not going to smell as bad as the chicken decomposing in your room or in your kitchen, right? That's why we refrigerate. So it's important to understand, when did that chicken die, right? When did that person kill the chicken? Because if you're the average American eating an average chicken, it has probably died a month ago. And it happened maybe in a farm outside of the country. It was then packaged, it was then shipped, it was then processed, it was then repackaged. It was maybe shipped to, likely, if you're in the United States, a fast food restaurant where it was kept frozen, then cooked, then you're eating it. So by all that time that's gone, you're lucky if it's a month. And what is happening to that meat over time is it's decomposing. The microbes are still active when frozen. It's only once you burn them and cook them, the microbes are not active. But I want to highlight right there on the screen, endotoxins. The endotoxins are active. So if that was a sick chicken, if that chicken was not kept in the best environment, even across this food chain, the supply chain, we are going to see issues of inflammation. We are going to see that disease spiral cascade, and then you're not healing with every meal, right? It's the opposite of heal with each meal.